Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here, and in this video I'm going to be redrawing an old doodle I did like 10 years ago. You know how I recently had my love for How to Train Your Dragon reignited, and I drew a bunch of How to Train Your Dragon fan art and I was like drawing it for like weeks? Well, it's happening again, but with the Lord of the Rings instead. So my love for Lord of the Rings has been reanimated, and yeah, it's probably my second biggest like phase that lasted like the longest next to How to Train Your Dragon, and I still love the both of them so much. But right now I'm really into the Lord of the Rings again. Like I said, it was just, I always loved it, just kind of the obsession kind of just laid dormant until just recently. So this is a Lord of the Rings doodle I did ages ago. It was 2015. It's 10 years ago, guys. And it was a doodle of the Fellowship, and I think that was around the time I was reading the books, because I'm pretty sure this scene was based off of the books. There's a scene in the books, I don't remember exactly where it's at, but they get attacked by wargs, I guess. I only know this because, well, I vaguely remember it. And to the original doodle, which if I don't get lazy, I'll put it in here somewhere and you guys can take a look at it. But I was doing like my own book versions of the characters, which were pretty much just plainer, less detailed versions of the movie characters. It really wasn't my super own interpretation. I probably could try to do a better like book interpretation of these characters, but they're kind of like the movie characters, but just a lot more plain, and there's some little details that I know were like kind of supposed to be mean that they're supposed to be like my book versions. So that's how I know too that this was probably a scene from the books that I was drawing. Where they're like camping on a hill and then they get attacked by wargs. I don't remember exactly when in this journey this is. But yeah, and I don't know why I had such a hard time rearranging these characters. Now, for the most part, like the ones on the outside, like everyone but the hobbits are pretty much where they were in the original doodle. For some reason, I felt like I just had so much more, like, less space between the characters that I was having a hard time arranging the hobbits. I still don't know if I really like how they are, and I feel like Gimli's kind of blending into the two hobbits behind him, but like, whatever. And yeah, I want to keep this sketch as like a sketch. Like when I was redrawing it, I wanted to keep it looking like a pencil sketch too, so that's why I started out with white, because I was thinking, oh, white paper, you know, I'll just draw white, but it was too much in my eyes, so I changed it to light gray. That's also why my lines are very sketchy. I was going to do it on one layer originally, but my original sketch was just way too messy. I just did a top layer, but I try not to care about my clean lines or anything. I just want to keep it sketchy like I was sketching on paper again. And I also used a rough brush that I had made when I first got Krita. I was trying to like make it imitate one of my favorite brushes in Sketchbook. But yeah, it already has opacity like turned way down, so I didn't know how to do that. But I also didn't use straight black. I was trying to use like a gray, so it kind of mimic a pencil. But yeah, I didn't change too much in this drawing aside from the hobbits are really the biggest change. I rearranged how they were. Again, if I'm not lazy, I'll put a picture of the original in here. Just ignore the horrible skill. The only person who probably stayed literally cut and paste from the original was Legolas and Gimli. They're literally the exact same pose, exact same spot, and I didn't really change anything about their pose. Gimli's just not as stiff, he's leaning forward a little bit more. And Legolas is literally exactly the same. He's still stepping on the warg's head, he's still aiming at a warg, about to shoot an arrow in its mouth after he shot an arrow on the other one. So like, yeah, and Aragorn is pretty much the same, he's just crouched lower, and I put his like sword swings a little bit more to the side. Boromir, I gave him his shield, because in this version I was just doing the movie versions, and I remembered that Boromir had a shield. I was gonna put on his back, and then I thought, you know what, why not just put that in his other arm? I don't know what I did with his other arm in the original. I just didn't draw it. I assumed maybe I was thinking both of his hands are on his sword, but like I ended up giving his other arm something to do and put his shield on it, and now he just looks 10 times cooler. Otherwise, Boromir's pose is basically the same as in the original. He's still stepping on a warg too, like pushing it away with his foot. And then Pippin, he's the one leaning against the tree. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be Pippin. And because I had a scarf, and I think I might have still kept the scarf on him even in my book version, just because I think Pippin's the one with the scarf, right, in the movie. But I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Pippin up against the tree. I just swapped his sword to his other hand. In my original sketch, I didn't really define which hobbit was what. I don't know. I didn't do a very good job of that, so I kind of just tried to make it more obvious who's who in this sketch. Again, Frodo's, you know, clutching his chest with the ring and his dark hair. Pippin has a scarf, and Sam has a frying pan. I try to make Sam more chubby. I was going to make all the hobbits chubby, but then again, I couldn't remember if they described him as chubby in the books. They aren't very chubby in the movies, except for maybe Sam, but I feel like hobbits are usually chubby. I was gonna make Frodo more chubby, but I couldn't remember if he was described as being thinner. Yeah, I did give Pippin a little more chubs, though. I just feel like the hobbits are usually chubby. Gandalf's pose is also very much changed. I don't know what he was supposed to be doing in the original. He's just bracing his staff in front of him, and so, like, vertically, like he's bracing himself for a fight or about to swing it or something. I don't know. But I decided to make him holding it up horizontally instead, and like a warg was jumping on him. He's like kind of pushing off the attack because I felt like that looked cooler and more dynamic. But yeah, so I changed a lot of their poses just slightly. Again, Boromir is pretty much the same, Aragorn's pretty much the same, just slight difference. Legolas and Gimli are exactly the same. And the hobbits are rearranged. Pippin's also pretty much the same, just slight difference. Gandalf's more dynamic. And then the wargs, I kind of just kept them the same too. A lot of them are the same. I changed a bit, like the second warg that's next to Aragorn's blade. I kind of made it look like he's trying to make it look like he's like dodging his swing after he just cut the other one's face off, you know. And then I did add another dead warg that was hit with arrows around, you know, where Legolas is at. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this. I feel like the pressure on my custom brush was a little bit weird, so like hatching was a little bit hard to do. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I did add a paper texture and everything, add some like shadows, general shadows and everything to make it feel more complete. And yeah, again, it's not perfect, but again, I was going in there with sketchiness in mind. I wanted to look like I was just doodling on paper again, and how I would have done it if I doodled on paper. Though, like, so a lot of my hatching is kind of weird, but I think it's just the brush. I need to like tweak it a little bit so that I don't have to keep, because sometimes I'll press too hard and it's too dark, and then I go lighter and just you can't even see the line type deal. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it's cute. I think it's cool. I'm really happy with this doodle. I thought it was a cool doodle and want to redraw it. But I also had other things I want to draw, so I didn't want to get like too caught up on it. I was thinking of coloring it, but I decided, nah, I'll just keep it a black and white sketch. And it'd be more like I redrew the doodle as a doodle. That makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's a couple things, like so the paper texture and stuff I added off screen. I also forgot Boromir's horn, so I put that on him. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Well, you all let me know what you think of this doodle. And expect more Lord of the Rings fan arts to come, because I am definitely in a phase. And if you did enjoy the video, please do like and subscribe. If you haven't already, I do have a Redbubble and Zazzle store if you want to check those out. Links will be in the description. I hope you all enjoyed, and until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!